Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to GMR Airports Infrastructure Limited's conference call to discuss Q3 FY23 results. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star and 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. We have with us today Mr. Saurabh Chawla, Executive Director, Finance and Strategy. Before we begin, I would like to state that some of the statements made in today's discussion may be forward-looking in nature and may involve risks and uncertainties. Also, recording or transcribing of this call without prior permission of the management is strictly prohibited. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Saurabh Chawla for the opening remarks. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for joining the third quarter fiscal 23 earnings call. During the Q3, global economies continue to face headwinds on multiple fronts, including inflation and high interest rates. However, the Indian economy continued to show resilience. Inflation levels receded as wholesale price index inflation stood at 4.95% as in December 22 from 10.7 in September 22. The WPI further eased to 4.73 in January of 23. GST collections continued to be at higher levels, even with the post-COVID economic recovery, as monthly collections for Jan 23 stood at 1.56 lakh crores. Other economic indicators were also mostly positive and encouraging. Recent Union Budget announcement is also expected to act as an enabler for growth. Capital investment has been increased for the third year by 33% to 10 lakh crore rupees, which is equivalent to about 3.3% of GDP. On the airport sector, 50 additional airports, heliports, water aerodromes, and advanced landing grounds will be revived for improving the regional air connectivity. This will provide huge opportunity for airport operators, including GMR. Regarding our performance for Q3, GMR Airports gross revenue increased by 29% year-on-year to 1,766 crores in Q3 this year, driven mainly by traffic improvements in our operational airports. EBITDA, however, decreased by 26% year-on-year to about 530 crores, mainly as we started paying monthly annual fee with effect from April 22 prospectively. However, on a Q&Q basis, EBITDA increased by 12%. Amongst our operational airports, Hyderabad Airport for the past 3 consecutive quarters has contributed positively to our consolidated profit after tax. During 9 months of fiscal 23, Hyderabad Airport registered a PAT of 91 crores versus loss of 72 crores during the same 9 months last year. Please note that the Hyderabad Airport EBITDA and PAT for the 9 months for this current year include the one-off loss of about 60 crores from settlement of derivative instruments related to the partial repayment of bonds due in 2024 and 2026. Adjusted for this one-time loss, Hyderabad PAT stood at 151 crore for the 9 months of the current fiscal year. I would further like to highlight the following points. As you know, we have signed a deal with Aboitiz Infra Capital for divestment of our stake in Cebu Airport. During the quarter, we received 1,390 crores against this divestment. It is important to note that we would continue to operate as technical services provider to Cebu till December of 2026 and would also be entitled to additional deferred consideration based on subsequent performance of the airport for the same period. During the quarter, GMR and National Investment and Infrastructure Fund also decided to enter into a financial partnership. This is the first investment of NIF in Indian airport sector. They will be investing in 3 airport projects, including Goa, Bhogapuram, which is Visakhapatnam airports. The transaction envisages NIF making a primary investment of 631 crores in the form of compulsory convertible debenture in GMR Goa International Airport Limited, a special purpose vehicle to run and operate the new Goa airport. This investment shall be NIF's first investment, as I said earlier, in the airport sector in the country, and it will be the first direct investment in the state of Goa. On the overall passenger traffic for the GMR airports, quarterly 3 represented a strong growth in traffic. Passenger traffic was up by 37% year-on-year to 25.8 million passengers in Q3 fiscal year 23, with Delhi and Hyderabad experiencing good surge in traffic. Domestic traffic at Delhi airport reached a high of 102% of 2019 levels during December of 22, aided by travel from friends and family segment of the businesses and tourism. On international traffic, that's about 86%. Traffic from North America, the Middle East and Europe continue to grow beyond the pre-COVID levels. Recovery is mainly aided by traffic to and from Southeast Asia countries, including Thailand, Singapore and Malaysia. At Hyderabad airport, domestic traffic reached 94% versus 2019 traffic levels during December 22, again aided by friends and family travel. Corporate travel has picked up, but still lagging behind the 2019 levels. International traffic, on the other hand, has touched 90% mark, and the recovery is supported by the rising Southeast Asian tourist traffic, mainly Singapore and Thailand. Singapore Airlines converted a few narrow-bodied flights to wide-bodied flights, while Thai Airways resumed wide-body operations out of Hyderabad. On progress with respect to capacity expansions in our airports, Delhi, Hyderabad and Goa airports achieved 80%, 81% and 98% completion as of December 31st, 2022. As on January 31st, 2023, Delhi, Hyderabad and Goa achieved 81.6, 82 and 98.7% of the capex progress. At our Goa airport, domestic operations have already commenced from January 5th, 2023, and works related to the international area are in progress. Indigo, Akasa, GoAir, SpiceJet and Vistara are already operational. Goa is currently serving 10 domestic destinations. International flights are expected to start from March 2023 with commencement of summer schedule. In our Hyderabad airport, the East Pier portion, which was handed over during Q1, was commissioned in Q2, while the West processor, that is the international side, was handed over during Q3 of fiscal year 23. Delhi and Hyderabad airports are targeted for completion in September 23 and March 23, respectively. On the airport development, as you're aware, during Q2, Chalet Hotels Limited was awarded a contract by Delhi International Airport Limited, DIAL, to develop a hotel with 350 to 400 rooms at the Terminal 3. The transaction is progressing in line with the contractual terms. In Hyderabad Airport, pursuant to the execution of sub-lease deed with the Amity for 20 acres of land during Q2 for setting up a university at AeroCity, Hyderabad, the land has been handed over now to Amity. Amity also has an option for additional 5 acres of land for school to be exercised within 12 months from the date of execution of the sub-lease deed for the 20-acre land. In Goa Airport, we have initiated land monetization for 2 hotel plots next to the new Goa Mopa International Airport terminal building. We expect the transactions to be closed during the current quarter as we go forward. In Crete Airport, we achieved physical progress of 17% as of December 2022. Works are progressing on multiple fronts: runway, taxiway, apron, terminal building and other buildings, and on the access roads. Terminal building base slab concreting work has been completed. Concreting work on columns and mezzanine level slabs are currently in progress. Flood protection work is in progress in airport and access roads. On the Medan Airport, Angkasa Pura Aviasi, APA, the joint venture company of GMR Airports Limited and Indonesian state-owned airport operator, which is Angkasa Pura II, formally took over the operations of Medan Airport beginning July of 2022. On a year-on-year basis, traffic is up 3.7x to about 1.45 million passengers in quarter 3 of fiscal 23. Domestic daily pax has already reached 97% of the pre-COVID level, while international pax was over 89% as of December 22. Currently, 18 domestic and 6 international destinations are connected. As you are aware, Ministry of Transport of Indonesia has already approved rise in domestic passenger service charges by 27% and international passenger service charges by 16% with effect from August 1st, 2022. In Nagpur Airport, we expect execution of the concession agreement at the earliest. In Bhogapuram Airport, EOI has been received for EPC contractor selection and RFP has been issued to the shortlisted parties. Land acquisition is in advanced stages of completion by the government. R&R works are in progress. On financial closure, project appraisals are underway by consultants appointed by lead lenders. On the ESG front, our endeavor is to reduce the impact of our operations on the surrounding environment by implementing best practices environmental controls. Environmental protection and sustainable development has always been our high priority. Our Delhi and Hyderabad airports have maintained an ASQ score of 5 during the quarter. Delhi Airport was also awarded the busiest airport of the year, fiscal 22, and the best sustainable airport at the ASSOCHAM 14th International Conference cum Awards on Civil Aviation. Hyderabad Airport won the gold recognition at the CII Excellence Summit in November 22 for its business excellence journey. The presentation with all financial numbers are already available with you. If not, you can download it from our investor relations section on the website. We are available to respond to your questions on this call and offline subsequent to the call. Now I would like to open the forum for queries that will be addressed by my colleagues from the corporate and the business teams. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Mohit Kumar from DAM Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. And good to see a very, very good recovery in traffic. So a few questions on my side. First is, 2 questions on the financials. First is, can you please explain the exceptional income booked during the quarter? In the most accounts, nothing is mentioned about this, particular income of 3 billion which you booked.
This exceptional income is on account of the disposable of partial equity investment in the Cebu. So that has been recorded as an exceptional item in the GIL financial statement.
Okay. So part has been booked in this quarter and part was booked in last quarter. Am I right?
Yeah.
Understood.
No, this is the first. It is partially booked in this quarter. Balance unlocked shares we will record in the 2024.
Understood, sir. Secondly, you spoke about 600 million, which you booked as exceptional expense in Hyderabad regarding some derivative transaction for the bond. Has it been booked entirely in this quarter, or it is for the entire 9 months? It looks like this number is for this particular quarter. Can you confirm that?
This is one-time charge. This is basically the Hyderabad airport has gone liability management. We have repaid 140 million of the international bonds by raising the domestic paper. In that context, whatever the derivative instrument we have already created versus the amount realized, the difference amount has been charged to P&L account, but there is no cash outgo as such. It is only a notional entry.
This happened in this quarter, right? Entire amount.
Entire amount is this time only one-time transaction.
It's not that for the same transaction, more booking will be done during
No, only one.
No. I was just asking because Hyderabad Airport EBITDA is lower QOQ, and I think the operating expense is higher. So I'm assuming that this 60 crore in expense has been booked in the Hyderabad Airport in this quarter. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Understood. Lastly, sir, what is the CapEx and debt capitalization possible for Delhi and Hyderabad airports, especially in FY24?
No, the entire Hyderabad airport will be completed the capitalization by June 23, and Delhi airport is expected to complete by September 23. So the capitalization will happen in 23-24 financial year.
What could we say the capex number capitalization in June 23 for Hyderabad and the debt, corresponding debt to that?
So the total Hyderabad capex program is about 6,700 crores. So the entire amount will, of course, partly it is getting capitalized, and the full capitalization will be done by June 23. Is about, including what has already been capitalized, will be around 6,600 crores. The entire debt has already been tied up. The money is already there in the bank account. There is no need to further raise any further debt.
And on Delhi, it's 100 billion. Is that the right? Is that the amount?
Sorry.
On Delhi, the amount is 10,000 crores.
It is about 11,500 crores.
Understood, sir. Thank you, sir. And best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to ask a question, you may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Aditya Mongia from Kotak Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, just checking that I'm audible to you.
Yeah.
Got that. I'm just trying to kind of focus more on the non-aero part of the Hyderabad airport on a per pax basis. It seems as if numbers over the last 3 years have quite meaningfully improved, whether we see non-aero or retail. If you could explain why this kind of uptick is happening, and should we not assume further uptick happening from here on as you open up even new retail space at the Hyderabad airport?
See, this increase or improvement that we are seeing in non-aero revenue in Hyderabad, it's a combination of a couple of things. One, the quality of passenger traffic has improved, so that is one contributor. Secondly, a bit of refresh on the retail side which has happened, and also we have kind of expanded the retail area. If you would have traveled recently to Hyderabad, you would have seen on the land side there are a number of retail outlets, including F&B outlets which have come up. So these are the 3 main contributors for improvement in the non-aero revenue over the last few quarters that we have seen. And we firmly believe that this is the trend. We should keep seeing it as we go along.
Okay. I think just a follow-up question. Let's say on a 9-month basis, retail spending at Hyderabad is, let's say, 60 odd rupees per pax versus it being almost 110 odd rupees in Delhi. Do you see a sense of whether these numbers would be converging over time? Because obviously it was a lot larger earlier, now it is lesser. I'm just trying to get a sense.
Yeah. So for each of the airports, it all depends on the quality of the passenger traffic. Just to point in reference, when you look at, say, Delhi, the sales per pax, SPP that we call it for the duty-free business, is close to about $13. I'm talking about more in terms of dollars. And Hyderabad is close to now about $7 to $8. But then we have seen that this has moved up from $4 to $8 in Hyderabad and similarly in Delhi from over $8 to about $13. So that's the, again, so these numbers will, as the quality of passenger traffic keeps improving with your offerings, you'll definitely see the numbers moving up. Now, whether Hyderabad will be able to do exactly like Delhi, I think that, again, it is dependent on the quality of passenger traffic.
But would it be fair to assume that the handicap of there being, let's say, limited space was a lot more in Hyderabad than Delhi so far, and at least that will start opening up a lot more for Hyderabad?
Yes, you're right. I think since we are now expanding our footprint in Hyderabad, so that is going to be one enabler for doing.
Also, you need to keep into perspective, as I keep highlighting to you, is as we become, whether international hubs or regional hubs, yesterday's announcement by Air India is very heartening towards that step.
Mm-hmm.
As they start to gather pace of, long distance, wide-bodied aircraft that fly, like Rajesh mentioned, the quality of the clawback to the spend that usually happens in other international heads starts to come back to the Indian airports, and this will have, I would say, a long-term improvement in improving our SPPs. There could be some dips or surges on a quarterly basis, but on a long-term basis, it's a very positive, I would say, forecast as we go forward.
Well said. So there's a last question from my side. What are the refinancing rates that are today on offer at the current repo for Delhi and Hyderabad?
You are talking about the refinancing?
Basically, the fact that you are probably nearing the end of your construction period, is there a scope of interest rates going down for these assets here?
Yeah, see, Hyderabad Airport is concerned that whatever the fund required for the expansion has already been raised, and we'll keep refinancing the bonds which are falling due as and when.
Sure.
So, for example, 2024, the bond is falling due about 300 million. Out of that, 140 million, we have already done the liability management in December by raising domestic paper at 8.8% quarterly interest. So, and we are also planning to have another liability management shortly. And the bonds will be refinanced as and when they fall due, and depending upon the cash flows are sufficient, we may repay them. Otherwise, we go for the refinance.
So 9% below rate are possible in this.
We have already got it 8.8 quarterly interest in Hyderabad. It is over 1,150 crores we have raised. So let's say the key over here is not 9% or 8.8%. The key is what is the saving that we have versus the quoted dollar bonds that we have outstanding. So we need to look at from that perspective. Again, there has been recently some disruption on the Indian paper for a very different reason. Obviously, the India name does get impacted in the credit markets. So we use that as an opportunity in our liability management. And we go for the long-term bond. So this December, what we did, that 1,150 crores was a 10-year paper. And the interest rate is fixed for 5 years.
Got that. Those are my questions. Thanks a lot for your responses. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Imtiaz from Barclays. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. I just have one question, and this is with regards to the status of the legal issue with regards to the force majeure, your revenue share. between 2020 and 2021. What's the status on that? When do we expect some form of final resolution?
The status is basically the cross-examination is going on right now. That is, the arguments by the lawyers are going on. It is expected the timelines have been extended up to August 2023. So we expect the final award before August, that is about around July month.
July. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we take the next participant, reminder to everyone, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Nikhil Abhyankar from DAM Capital. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity, sir. I've got a couple of questions. So, you mentioned in your opening remarks about the Amity University developing a parcel of land in Hile. So, can you just give some more details of this project?
This is basically a university which is being set up by them on a 20 acres plot. So the entire payment more or less has already been received. There is some deferred payment will be received. It is a long term and they are setting up the university. We have already started operations on next shift, and within 1.5 years, 15 years, the entire campus will be ready.
And what are the payments that they will receive, sir?
It is about 80 crores to 100 crores rupees.
Annually?
No, that is the full amount for the entire 20 years.
Okay. And sir, the second question is regarding the CCD 631. So after the conversion of these debentures, what will be the stake of NIF and MOPA?
It is 49%.
49%.
Yeah, up to 49%. So it could be lower depending upon how the project progresses.
Understood. Okay, sir. That's all from my side.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to ask a question, you may press star and 1. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question now. The next question is from the line of Lakshmana Rao Mika, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Okay. Congratulations for the set of numbers, sir. I just want to know about Nagpur Airport royalty share.
But your voice is not that clear.
Yeah. So, is it clear now, madam?
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So, I just want to know about Nagpur Airport royalty taking that we launched in start operations.
Sorry, your voice is not clear. Very muffled. We can't understand your question. Sorry. Hello, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, I just want to know about Nagpur Airport, why it is taking so long to take the operations, sir?
No, Nagpur Airport, after Supreme Court final judgment, the government again has filed for a curative petition, so it will be disposed of. It is likely to be disposed of in another 1 or 2 months.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the last question for today. I would now like to hand the floor over to the management for closing remarks.
Thank you, friends. Thank you for joining our call for the quarterly 3 financial results. Course is available offline should you have any specific queries regarding our strategy, our balance sheet. We'll be happy to answer. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. On behalf of GMR Airport Infrastructure Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.